Sims 4 kits are here to stay whether we like them or not, and although a lot of them I do disagree with and not really like and don't think they went far enough, some of them I do acknowledge are actually really great kits. The first few were quite bad, but I do think EA is starting to set their game up with kits and they're getting more used to the idea now, and I really wanted to share with you exactly what I think is missing from the game, because a lot of the kits that we are getting are very similar to other things that we already have, and I just want to look at the problems in the game now and what could actually be added. That's right, I have pulled a Plumbella and done a PowerPoint presentation today. It's not very often I do this, but I thought it would be necessary. Even though I'm clearly British, I get so many comments every day. Where are you from? I can't pin your accent. Well, here you are. Could the Union Jack flag not be any more obvious? I know the UK is only a tiny country in the world and it doesn't represent a lot of the world, but from my British perspective, there are a lot of fashion problems with menswear in The Sims 4. Firstly, I'd say there's just not enough men's fashion. Like, there literally isn't enough. A lot of the men's fashion that we do have is very American, and there's not much European representation in there. And in general, I just find that there's a lot of fun dad stuff and a lot of soft boy stuff. And I think when it comes to being fashionable, the Sims team always go down this like soft boy core route, and I just don't think they need to go down that route every single time when it comes to men's fashion. So in terms of the whole British thing, I want to look at polo tops, because polo tops are really fashionable in the UK and quite common, but I don't really see them in The Sims 4 or in many other countries, but they could honestly work so well. What we already have in The Sims 4 right now is very sloppy. You can see all of the buttons are undone. They look extremely relaxed, and I do think they're a bit unflattering. I think the swatches are boring, and I think they're not fashionable, because I think in the US, where The Sims 4 is made, polo shirts are often wear for functional reasons, like a golf polo when you play golf, or like a bowling polo or something, and I really just want to see more fashionable polos in the game. Thank you very much to ASOS. I did not ask your permission to steal images from your website, but I did it anyway. What we see here is, firstly, you can see the buttons are all done up, and I really just want to see a polo in The Sims 4 with the buttons done up, because it looks so much smarter. Also, I want to see something a bit more fitted and flattering, something that makes the shoulders pop, something that's a bit tight around the arms, and something which has a bit of pattern to it, like the double stripes on this collar, something with a nice logo in the top corner. I just think it would look a lot better. And of course, we are so desperate for a long sleeve polo in The Sims 4 that it's not a rugby shirt, so that is a necessity for me. Going on with the British theme, we have our Chav we may as well call this a Chav Kit. I really want to see a brand new tracksuit in The Sims 4. Tracksuits don't have to be sloppy, they don't have to function as just some kind of sportswear thing and not be fashionable, and they don't have to be relaxed or look like some guy from Detroit. Thank you again to ASOS. As we can see, fashionable, they're fitted, they're patterns, and there's tons of swatch options. Usually, if you go into a British sportswear shop, the majority of tracksuits that you see, the fashionable ones, they're either in navy, dark green, or in like a space grey colour or black. But you also sometimes see like really striking, like bright red ones, and they always look really cool. We do need a nice fashionable tracksuit in The Sims 4, especially if we look at this one on the right here with the stripe patterns down. A lot of tracksuits have that. I'm going to have to turn the green screen filter off so you can see this because it's green. But look at that lovely design down the side. Absolutely beautiful. I want it in The Sims 4. And you know what? The British thing aside, when you look at any of the male casts, it screams one of three things to me. Either Chad, some kind of jock thing, or Teen Wolf / emo, or a teenager from the noughties. And they all have very strange and abstract swatches, and I don't like it. What we do need is generally, just in not British, but in general, smart, fitted, neutral swatches that are not soft boy. That is all I ask. Next up, I am so desperate to change up community lots in The Sims 4. So here we have our parks and recreation kit. If we look at park stuff in The Sims 4 right now, we simply do not have enough kids stuff. In the base game, we have three things: a pirate ship and a spaceship, which are technically the same object, and a monkey bar. And if you own a certain pack, like, you get a swing set, but that's basically it. We've got tons of dramatic street lamps, and we've got crusty Willow Creek benches, and we've got tons of literally traumatizing chess tables. I'm so done with chess tables. So what I think we need is, we need new kids stuff. The Sims 3 Town Life was actually a really cool Sims 3 stuff pack, and as you can see in the top right, it came with this, like, do you call these jungle gyms? I would love to see something like this, or perhaps a tree house. We also need a kid slide. I am so desperate for a kid slide in The Sims 4. And do you know what? I would love to see an outdoor gym, because in a lot of modern parks these days, you do see outdoor gym equipment. All of the gym equipment we have in The Sims 4 right now is for indoors. Wouldn't it be cool to have gym equipment that actually works in a park? And I think that would give your Sims more reason to visit the park, because let's be honest, we don't normally go to parks with our Sims. Oh, and we need more fountains. That is a must. Next up on the build side of things, we need some more architecture. When we look at some of the more architectural things in The Sims 4, especially things like columns, they're very, very big. We don't have that many thin columns, especially thin round columns. And a lot of the ones we do have are very traditional looking and quite rustic. Same with roofs. A lot of our roof designs are very traditional, and we don't have many fun swatches of things. And when it comes to things like archways as well, or are they called friezes, spandrels, something, I don't feel like we have enough modern stuff, and a lot of the stuff we do have are very awkward shapes. Even these basic square archways here just feel very, very outdated and crusty. So what do I think we need? Firstly, we need more modern stuff. I do not think we have enough modern architecture in The Sims 4. I don't know why The Sims has always been so modern phobic. Ever since like The Sims 1 up until The Sims 4, they've just been so afraid of modern stuff, and I don't know why. I would like to see more modern pillars, and I would like to see more thin pillars. I didn't know how to illustrate it, so I just stretched this image here to make it thinner, but I would love to see more thin circular ones. I would also love to see more flat modern roof designs, and we need some more modern decking. We don't really have that much like decking stuff in The Sims 4, and I would love to see more. Next up is a landscaping kit. Looking at what we do not have. Firstly, terrain paints are horrific in The Sims 4, literally horrific. They could have just done the whole transparent thing and made it so that it could work on any grass terrain, but instead they didn't. I do think they need a base game overhaul, so they do have some kind of transparency so that they work on every single terrain. I would also just generically like some more stone tiled ones, because a lot of the terrain paints that we do have are just made for the worlds, and I would like to see some more ones that you could use in more unique and creative ways in your gardens. Also, the bushes are horrific. We do have a lot of like bushes and trees in The Sims 4, but I feel like a lot of them are very specific to the world, or we have a lot of very flowery things, a lot of Americanized things, and generally, I know this is a very strange thing to say, but they look very Willow Creeky. I really hope that you know what I mean when I say a lot of the landscaping in The Sims 4 is just very Willow Creeky. Also, the bloody pancake pools. Pools in The Sims 4 are horrific. They need to change. They're the worst pools in literally any Sims game. Even Sims 1 pools were better than The Sims 4. That's embarrassing. What do we need? Firstly, we need curved pools. This can already be done because there is a very popular Cool Pool CC kit out. We also need a water slide for the game. Why do we not have one yet again? It's just such a simple thing. We bloody need it. Why don't we have it? Again, the terrain paints. This is an image I took from a CC creator. It is very alpha CC looking, but just to give you an example of how it can be done. Also, I would love to see a gazebo. I don't even think we have any. I think we have like gondolas, but they're not the same. I would love a gazebo. Or is that just the British in me? Also, I would love a swingy bench. What are they officially called? Do they have an official name? If they do, I apologize to the piece of furniture, but I don't know what they're called, but I would love a swingy bench. Next up, we need a small world. Now, I know what you're going to say. Satch kits are either built by or cast, but they don't have to be that way. EA with The Sims 4 always give themselves these ridiculously tiny constrictions for absolutely no reason at all, other than just to do it to punish themselves and to punish us. I would more than happily pay a little bit more money for a small world kit that came with 3 lots. I don't think there's a big problem with it. There's absolutely no reason for it, and I'll tell you why. This is what infuriates me. I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. What we have in red here is the United States of America. This is unacceptable, and it's not helping the stereotype that Americans are bad at geography. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to get cancelled because like 90% of my audience is American, but guys, it's not acceptable. I mean, even technically Solani's basically American because it's fucking Hawaii. We've got 2 British worlds. We got a German world, and we got a beach that's kind of Italian. Where the hell is the rest of the world? I think it's lazy. I think that EA do this because it's much easier to landscape and make the worlds. If we get another fucking American suburban mining town, my head is going to explode. So what do we need? Firstly, I think we need more Eastern Europe. I think we need Africa. I think we need more Asia. We got the Courtyard Oasis kit, which is one of my favorite kits for The Sims 4, yet we got nowhere to put the bloody stuff because we don't have a Moroccan-inspired world. Not just Morocco, other places in Africa. I love North African places like Egypt, for example. In terms of Asia, I'd love to see a more Indian-inspired world. I like the architecture. I think it's fun. And again, we don't have much stuff like that in The Sims 4. I love to see South Korea as a new city world. The Sims 4 is so desperate for a new city world. Again, EA put themselves in this awkward box where they say we're not allowed a city unless it's the city living pack. But why? The thing about South Korea is, even just looking at this image here, imagine just like a downtown city area in The Sims 4, because if we look at The Sims 4 city living, it's very open, it's very modern, it's very hipster, it's very daytime. I want to see something that's a bit more nighttime, and I do feel like just a little downtown city world in South Korea could do that. I would also like to see a bit more Europe as well, especially Eastern Europe. I'd love to see some cobbled streets, just like Poland or Turkey, buildings put together. We don't have like any terrace house buildings in The Sims 4. There's no reason why they can't do it. They could function in the exact same way as apartments do already. It would be a great place to build more retail lots or cafes if you have get together or get to work. A great place to have more interesting looking bars. Another one I want to see is Iceland. I bloody love Iceland. I'm going there next year. I can't wait. There's just too much USA. And I think the Sims team lack inspiration when it comes to worlds. In my personal speculative opinion, I think they do this because of the seasons pack, because it's so much easier for them to apply the same weather effect to every single American mining town world than it is to create new weather effects for every single world. But that's not my problem as a player. That's their problem. EA has the money to do it. They have the time to do it. They just can't be bothered to do it. But we need it. We need new worlds, guys. Call me a xenophobe because I'm sick of United States. I don't care. I want more representation, especially Eastern Europe, especially Africa, especially Central Asia, and a new city world. In my personal opinion, we have way too much fashion in The Sims 4 already, apart from men's fashion, and that's why I've only really focused on a menswear kit. If you have any other ideas of things that we do not have, please let me know down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching my wish list. Please make sure you check out the next video here. See you in the next one.